Well, when the president does it, that means that it is not illegal.
This morning, never-before-seen footage pulling back the curtain behind legendary journalist David Frost's series of interviews with President Richard Nixon in 1977.
Check, everything checked. We're all looking the same.
The same as yesterday and the day before.
Isn't that a shame? Wish we could improve our appearance. It's one of the reasons I never looked at, believed in looking at videos myself, because I knew that you become self-conscious, you become an actor.
This candid moment unearthed as part of a new podcast, The Frost Tapes, hosted by David Frost's son, Wilfred.
We learned today of the passing of the veteran British broadcaster Sir David Frost.
6 years ago, when Frost passed away at 74, Wilfred set out to rediscover his father's work. When he learned CBS had lost years' worth of the David Frost Show, Wilfred and his team found a stockpile in an unlikely place, Richard Nixon's presidential library.
Do you feel that you ever obstructed justice or were part of a conspiracy to obstruct justice?
In a twist of fate, Nixon, whose legacy was altered by Frost, actually preserved the journalist's work, his administration recording hours of shows and interviews from the White House.
Senator Kennedy.
The new podcast explores a treasure trove of David Frost interviews that were lost for half a century, including this powerful moment of Coretta Scott King explaining the final gift she received from husband Martin Luther King Jr.
The last thing that he gave me was some artificial flowers. He said, "Oh yes, I wanted to give you something that you could keep." And of course, at that moment, it didn't occur to me just why, except that it was so unusual because he always gave me fresh flowers. And after his death, you know, the story, all of this came back to me.
And joining us now is Wilfred Frost, host of The Frost Tapes. Wilfred, good morning. It's good to see you. Gosh, take me back to that moment when you found out those tapes weren't lost after all, and they were in no other place than the Nixon library.
I know, unbelievable moment. So I got back the rights of the David Frost Show in late 2015 from CBS. There were 750 episodes, but about 350 of them were missing. And my brilliant archive partner, David Peck, discovered them about a year and a half later, as you said, in the Nixon library of all places. I actually was confused initially. I thought he meant that we discovered more of the Frost-Nixon interviews, as opposed to all these interviews Dad did with people, often Nixon opponents, during the Nixon years, that he was obviously monitoring. I guess he had a penchant for recording tapes, did Richard Nixon.
He did interview. Your dad interviewed so many people: Bobby Kennedy, George Wallace, Ronald Reagan. What was it about your dad's interview style? I mean, he was 29 years old in 1968. It just struck me how good he was at his craft. But what do you think it was about his style that was so captivating?
Well, the age part of it is amazing. I knew he was one of the best, of course, when I was alive and he was in his 60s and 70s. To see him that good in his 20s as well is quite unbelievable. I think if there's one thing overarching all of this that he had, it was just a genuine fascination in people. And as he used to say, finding out what makes them tick, exploring their personal philosophy. And I don't think you can fake that. And I think it comes across subconsciously or consciously, I don't know, to his guests, that he was just genuinely interested in them. Now, Dad was, of course, an interesting man to talk to, but he was interested in people above all else.
And here you are following in his footsteps. You're our colleague at CNBC. Those are big shoes to fill. When you look back at these interviews, these new ones or ones that you've seen over the years, do you ever think to yourself, now, I want to do it like my dad would have done it? Or do you try to kind of chart your own path?
Well, I think, as you guys know better than I do, you know, we're not actors, we're presenters. You've got to be yourself, and above all else, I'm Wilfred Frost, not David Frost's son. But listen, I learned a lot. Dad died before I pivoted to doing TV, and it's a regret I have that I never specifically got to sit down with him and say, you know, what should be the follow-up question? What are you thinking at this moment? Because I sort of thought I had all the time in the world with Dad, as a son always does, and then he's died suddenly. So this experience, this process has been very rewarding in that sense, to kind of learn some more tricks of the trade from the man who, I think, of course, I'm biased, was the greatest.
Well, Wilfred, we loved being with you at the royal wedding.
Yeah.
And
That was a great time.
it was. We had so much fun. And of course, your dad hosted this show, hosted Today, way back in the day. So we got a long history together. Congratulations on the podcast. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And you can hear the Frost Tape podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.